Hello there. I'm USA Today bestselling author, storyteller, and cheeky wench Susan Tisdale. I've been writing since I was a little girl, but in 2011 I published my first novel. Since then, I've hit the USA Today bestsellers list 3 times, and I've sold more than 750,000 copies of my books around the world. I'd like to welcome you to the Cheeky Wench channel, where we discuss all things writing related, from writing to publishing to marketing and everything else in between. So grab your notebooks and your favorite beverage and let's get down to it. Hello, 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 my beautiful, wonderful, awesome friends. How is everyone? Hi, Christina, Angie, Ashley. How are you? Aw, that's so sweet, Christina. Hi, Dawn. Oh, it is so good to see you all. I hope everybody's doing well. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me okay. Just going to take a little sip of coffee. Hey, Tony. I've discovered Cafe Bustelo. I love that coffee. It's an espresso, but I use the instant kind. Isn't espresso supposed to be a tiny little cup? I drink about 4 or 5 of these a day. And I usually start after my Folgers, my entire pot of Folgers. My kids like to tease me that the only thing that keeps my heart beating is the coffee I drink. Oh, it's a little, one of those little, just a lightweight thing. Just a little lightweight. I forget where I got it. How is everyone? Show of hands on who got to write today. Lori, put a 1 in the chat if you got to write today. It is. I did. I know you did, Ashley. I wrote too. I got in, where'd it go? Over 2,800 words this morning, which was way past my targeted word count of 2,048 words or whatever Pacemaker said I needed to write. It's okay, Carolyn. Hi. Yes, we did discuss sticky notes, didn't we, Ashley? Oh, we have so many fun tools tonight to talk about. Oh, lots of fun tools. That's what tonight's show is all about, is your favorite writing tools. Oh, Don, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he's okay. I will keep him in my prayers. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, honey, but I will keep him in my prayers. Cool Beans Carolyn. Ashley, you're so sweet. But yes, go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't. Hit the share button if you would. That always helps. The like button, the share button, comments, and that always helps the YouTube algorithms. It helps us get seen by more people. And that's the goal, is to help more and more authors every week. Okay, Joshua. Thank you, Dawn. I will keep Joshua in my prayers. So when you click the like button, when you click the share button, when you click the subscribe button, that all helps. It helps us be seen by other people. So I bought some. Okay, these are my regular. I've had these Z-Lul cheetah readers for quite some time, but I purchased some new ones today, and I don't like these. It's like it's a Dollar General purchase, but it's like I have it's 2 different lenses. It is the weirdest thing. So hopefully I'll be able to take those back tomorrow, because that was a waste of $10. So I had my eye doctor appointment last week, got my eyeballs dilated, and I have perfect vision in one eye, 20/20 in one eye, and 20/30 in the other, and all is good. And I went to order some cheetah readers from Zlul because I have a prescription, but what they forgot was to measure whatever it's called, PD. I don't know. So I have to go back and get those measurements. The foster grants at CVS. I will try that, NGG. Thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate that. Yeah, my eye doctor said I could do a +3, and I've been doing 150s, I think, forever, and they're just fine. I think that they're working okay. So these are like a 275 because I couldn't find a 3. Yeah, I don't like them, not at all. But I will try the foster grants at CVS. Thank you. I've been on a shopping spree today because, you know, these women I hang out with in our Discord group, I asked them about their favorite tools, and all of a sudden I found my cart filled up at Amazon with some really great books, and I'm just really thankful that they're all tax deductible. My accountant will be thankful too. Yeah, we were all shopping. Amazon was probably like, what the hell? Anyway, yep, guilty. There were lots of really good recommendations for different things. And I have a list. I came prepared tonight. I have a list. Top of that list of really important writing tools. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been writing. I don't give a rat's arse how many books you have published. The biggest tool in your arsenal is a phenomenal editor. We've talked about this lots of times before. But if you are not learning something from your editor with every single book that you write, then there's something wrong somewhere. Just my personal opinion. We've talked about this before, the different kinds of editors that there are. There are developmental editors, there are line editors. I don't know, lots of different kinds of editors. I really suck at all the technical stuff, so please forgive me. But I love my developmental editor. And she does a phenomenal job, absolutely phenomenal. And I learned something from her with each new book. Oh, Tony, you're too funny. But your editor is the single most important tool in your toolbox as an author. Sorry, my husband's walking down the driveway, heading to the garage, and he's just looking mighty fine today. So sorry for that distraction. Anyway, editors. That is the single most important thing that you need as a writer is a really, really good editor. You want an editor who is going to offer lots of suggestions, an editor who is kind, an editor who is doing their best to teach you, gives really good examples. And I've had editors in the past who put a line through a sentence and said, what was it she said? What was it she said? It was something that just really burnt my biscuits. It was something like, this makes no sense. Or there were parts where she would say things like, take this out, rewrite this, things like that. Well, those comments were not helpful. Why am I taking it out? Please explain to me why I need to take this sentence or this particular scene out. Is it because I have said the same thing previously? Is it because it didn't make any sense? Give me the reasons why I need to take that particular sentence or scene out of this novel. My editor is really good at that. She will say things like, I think this might sound better if you tried to write it this way. And always I take her suggestions because she's just so freaking good at this, right? Um, it's more than if you have an editor who is just saying things like, "Oh, I love the book," and maybe she only changed some commas. That's not an editor. I wouldn't even consider that a final proofer. You need the constructive criticism. Yes, Tony, exactly. Constructive criticism, explanations on why something isn't working, examples of how it could be better, etc., etc. In a recent, in an experience in the past, not recent, but in past experiences before I have found my editor who I love so much, I actually had someone tell me that they only needed a week to edit a 125,000 word book. And I'm like, I'd rather have it done right than fast. Time is not of the essence. I know there are authors out there who write this big long book, and let's say it's 100,000 words long, and they send it to an editor and they want it back in 3 days. A good editor can't. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you don't sleep. I don't care what your educational background is, what your experience is, etc., etc. A good editor needs more than a week to do a deep developmental edit on a book that is 100,000 plus words long, right? Now, if it's a little short story, I've done little short stories before for anthologies that I was in. Then if somebody only needs a week or a couple days, that's fine. It makes sense. Yes. So much yes to what you're saying. State what's wrong, why it's wrong, how to fix it, and give an example. Yes. There are times when they don't need to give an example for each and everything. Like if they're just saying, you've said this 9 times already, and, take this out because you keep repeating it. A really good editor is worth their weight in gold. Seriously. Y'all know I write really, really big books. Frederick's Queen, I think, was like 180 some odd thousand words long. I give my editor at least 6 weeks for her full edits because she will tell me, and this is the biggest compliment that an editor can give you, is I started reading to edit and then I got lost in the story. I think that's the biggest compliment. If you've got an editor who says, I got so lost in this story, I forgot I was editing, I finished reading it, now I'm going back to edit it, that is a tremendous compliment. I've had more than one editor tell me that in the past. Let's see. Dawn says, when I write notes like that in my edits, it's because they're notes to myself. I usually go through the book back to the author once in a great while. One slips by and we have a good laugh. There you go. And she also says, as a line editor, I can do a 100K book in a week, the first edit, but I require the ability to do a second edit on the book after the author has had a chance to read my edits and suggestions. And, a lot of people work that way. It's back and forth, back and forth. I write the book. I do all my personal edits because there are lots of times when I write, go back to this or come back to this. And so when I know that I am finished with the book, I do a control find throughout the entire manuscript and, come back to this and I go through. And sometimes I realize, okay, this was like maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs and I really don't need this particular scene. So I will take it out. Or like the other day, I realized, my come back to this was this huge, really important scene. And so I ended up adding a few thousand more words to the novel. It happens. But then once I'm done, I send it to my editor and she gets her 6, sometimes 8 weeks, depending on the size of the novel and other circumstances. She works her magic and sends it back to me. At that point, we're done. Okay. I will go through and read all of her comments, make all of her suggested changes. And I don't think there has ever been a time where I did not take her advice, where I didn't heed it, where I didn't take it. And then I'm done and I send it to my final proofer. But I do know that there are authors and editors out there who like to do that back and forth, and that's fine. Whatever works for you. Don says, just spoke to one of my authors today who's getting a book ready and realized her heroine changed eye colors 3 times. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, my editor, she usually catches stuff like that, but my editor isn't there to find my typos. I mean, she'll fix them when she sees them. My final proofer is the one who catches the typos. And sometimes my editor, God love her, has been known to add a typo into my script, which is always hilarious. So, my editor is one thing and my final proofer is another. And my final proofer is my daughter, and she took some time off, but like I had to for various reasons. And she's back to final proofing again, and she's just phenomenal. And she's like the grammar queen. She just is really, really good. Tony says she puts whatever those squiggly lines are when I need to come back. That's her personal flag in a file too. Cool. Let's see. My editor catches the 2 typos I've mentioned every time. I happily submitted this one and said there's no blondes in it. Oh, with an E. I'm of the mindset it could be spelled either way. American gray is Gray, and blonde is BLOND. Or it could be BLONDE. It's okay. It's not that big a freaking deal, in my personal opinion. But to me, the color gray is Gray. So the single most important tool you can have in your arsenal is a really phenomenal kick-ass editor. Okay. And it's okay to, if what you've got going with your current editor just isn't working, if they're not doing those deep developmental edits that you want them to do, then find another editor, and that's okay. It's all good. This is business. So I'm going to go through my list of favorite tools, and my number one favorite tool is Scrivener. I love, love, love Scrivener. You've heard me talk about Scrivener many, many, many times in the past. It is just I'm pulling up links so I can share them with you. I love Scrivener. I love every single thing about Scrivener. I love the character sheets. I love the fact that I can create my own templates. I love the fact that I can just move things around. I can move scenes around if I need to. I can move chapters around if I need to. I just love the ease with which I can use it. There are many, 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 many different things you can do with and in Scrivener. I only use a fraction of what the program offers. My character sheets, the chapters, that's pretty much about it. I will use the research section, and I will put links in when I have researched something and have a link to it. But I do not color code everything in Scrivener like some people. There's just, you could it's like a rabbit hole. You can get lost in the Scrivener rabbit hole, which is fine. But I honestly will not write in anything else but Scrivener. I just can't, and I won't. I used to use Word in the very beginning of my career, and Word became the literal bane of my existence. I had an experience with a book. What was the one before Frederick's Queen? Rowan's Lady. Was it Rowan's Lady? I think so. Yeah. We had written it. All the final edits were done. My editor had edited it. I had gone through it. We'd fixed all the typos. It was like 4 or 5 days of edits, uploaded the book. It goes live, and all of a sudden I start getting messages from people. For some really weird reason, the comments the editor left off to the side had somehow found their way into the Kindle version of this book. Now, this is back in the day before Vellum, when we had to format and put it on hyperlinks in and everything. I mean, it was like a week's worth of work, all the formatting. It was just, I hated it. It was a freaking nightmare. Anyway, I had to call my KDP rep and say, we have a serious problem with the files. Can you please unpublish it until I can get it fixed? I go to look at it, and none of the edits that I had done in Word made it into the live version. I do not know why. So I spent the next 3 days, and I mean, it was like 20-hour days, gobs of coffee, and smoking like a chimney, drinking coffee left and right, trying to do all these edits. I go to format it, and I don't know what happened, but it changed this entire novel into over 8,000 pages because it had changed the entire novel into a table of contents. It was a freaking nightmare. Let me just put it that way. So I'm on the phone with my rep. I'm bawling my eyes out. I don't know what the hell's going on. I've tried to save it and do a save as, copy the whole thing and put it into a brand new Word doc. Nothing was working. Absolutely nothing was working. And people are leaving reviews on Amazon saying, the editing on this is horrible. I can see the editor's comments. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. Really? You think we don't know that? So anyway, Chris was my rep at the time, and he was absolutely wonderful. He said, send me the Word document. I will get our tech team on it. It took Amazon's tech team 3 entire days to fix it. What they ended up having to do was strip out every last morsel of HTML and coding and all of that and start over. It was an absolute nightmare. So whilst all of this is going on, my husband, who is a very good man, and y'all know how much I love him. I really do. He's a good guy. Sometimes, and he knows, I mean, this is back in the day, right? Do not try to fix my problems for me. Just let me bitch for 5 minutes. That's all I need. I just need to complain. I need to cry on your shoulder. Do not try and fix anything for me. He came to me and he said, Susie, I found this thing. I did some research, and he's like a research savant. I love this man. And he said, I found this program, and it's called Scrivener, and it's something you can write in. And I went ahead and bought it for you. And then he walked away because he knew. I'm like, ah. So I tried Scrivener, and I was not in the right frame of mind at that particular moment to learn anything new because I was so pissed off with everything that had happened with this stupid book. It was a good book, but all the stupid stuff that happened with this really good book. So I had opened it, and I'm like, oh my God, this makes no sense. And I was just like, oh my God, he's wasted his money, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he is a saint. It takes a really big man to be married to someone like me. But anyway, could not figure it out. Didn't want to take the time to figure it out. Did a whole lot of cussing. And so it sat on my computer for months. So I was starting to have more and more issues with Word. We unloaded it, we reloaded it, whatever, and it just was going nowhere. So I opened up Scrivener, and I'm like, this makes no sense. I do not understand this. And I don't like reading tutorials. I just don't. I hate reading tutorials. So I went to YouTube and I Googled how to use Scrivener, and that's when I discovered their video tutorials, and it has been an absolute love story between me and Scrivener ever since. I love, love, love Scrivener. everything that it can do, even the stuff I don't use, I think is really fascinating and awesome. A lot of you do use all the other extra stuff that comes with it. I think that's just fabulous. However, I just don't. It's just not how my mind works. In Discord earlier, it was funny because I was like in 25 different directions, and I told the girls in Discord, it's thank God for my AATD, because I would not be able to keep up with this day with my mind, because bing, 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 bing. So, cannot say enough nice things about Scrivener. If you ever get a chance to try it, I think there is a free version. I don't know. I've had mine for so long. Get all the free updates and upgrades and everything, which is awesome. But I just love, love, love Scrivener. So that is number 2 on our list. Number 3 of things that I consider are vitally important for an author are sprinting buddies. Now, some authors, they prefer to write alone. They just want to write, and that's fine. I used to be like that. Just everybody leave me alone and let me write. But once I started sprinting, so sorry, hang on a second. It's going to get really loud with my fan. Oh, good Lord. So sorry. I'm so sorry, but God, all of a sudden I just got really hot. I'm really, really sorry. I don't know why y'all listen to me. Oh, Lord, I hate hot flashes. That was my first one in weeks and weeks and weeks. It was just all of a sudden came on. It got warm here yesterday and today. Yeah. But really, that's my first hot flash in weeks, so I'm not going to complain. Sorry about that. I couldn't. Oh, sorry. Ooh, God help me. Okay, hang on just a second. Okay, what were we talking about? Sprinting partners. Sorry, sprinting partners. I absolutely love our Discord group. You can't hear the fan? Oh, thank you, Michaela. Ah, Discord. We have a Discord group, and that's where I sprint with these phenomenal, awesome women 7 days a week. We encourage each other, and that's my favorite part. It's that encouragement. I might, in a 30-minute sprint, only get 500 words in, and then there's Tony Denise who gets like 10 billion words in 30 minutes, and I have to tease her about it because I'm jealous. What the hell? This is really embarrassing, and I'm really sorry. Anyway, Discord is phenomenal. And if you don't want to use Discord, find some other sprinting partners and just text each other. I used to do that a few years ago with some fellow authors who I absolutely love. We used to just text our sprints. I have used Facebook Messenger to sprint with people. We start a timer, we say go, we have our beginning word count, our end word count, and it was always a lot of fun. But for some reason, Discord is just amazing. And this group of women, that it's mostly women. I think there's a couple guys, but they don't come in very often. But anyway, for the most part, it's women. They're absolutely flippin' phenomenal. There's no drama. We encourage each other. Oh, okay. Michaela's, yeah. They use StreamYard, which is what I'm using to do the live. There's all sorts of different ways that you can sprint with other people. But it has really helped me get back in the swing of things, helped me realize what's important. And I just enjoy it, and I look forward to. That's the first thing I open in the morning. It used to be there for a long time when I was having all my health problems. The first thing I did every morning was, make my coffee and open up my iPad and play Merge Mansion and Angry Birds. So my iPad time has gone to almost like I think 5% a week. It's gone from 100% a week down to 5% a week. Uh, so I owe the Discord group a lot. All these women, and a lot of them are in here tonight, uh, are just absolutely phenomenal. And I do love you guys. I do love you all very much. And I appreciate you. And I'm glad you are there. And it's nice because sometimes I'll just go in and, good morning, everybody. And, people are busy, or they're not awake yet or whatever. And that's okay. I'll start a sprint by myself. And then, because it's just another way for me, not, I hate to use the word accountable, not accountable. It just helps me stay on track. Does that make sense? I just love to how it helps me stay on track and keep me motivated. So find a good group of sprinters, even if it's just one other author. You'd be surprised at the difference that can make. That's okay, Christina. Come back in anytime. I was gone for a long, 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 long time. But I'm doing much better now. What is this? My third or fourth Wednesday night with the wench in a row? Yes. Encouragement and motivation. Exactly. The encouragement and motivation is phenomenal. So find you a good group of people like that. Yep. Ashley, you and Tony kill it. Yeah, we try to. But Tony always wins. Tony always wins. So sprinting, Discord, it's just a really great tool. The newest tool in my toolbox is Pacemaker Press. I'll have a link for it. And I know we're not swooping. And I apologize for that. Okay, Pacemaker. We had Tony Denise on last week, and we talked all about Pacemaker. And so she was able to show me a few more things that it does. And oh my gosh, the heat map, the hourly stuff. I'm so happy. I flip and love Pacemaker. My friend Terry Maggart, I was telling him all about it, so he went and got it. Today's the first day he's using it, so I'm waiting for him to text me his updated word count. Pacemaker in conjunction with Discord has been phenomenal. Pacemaker breaks it down to the hour. My word counts, my progress. Oh, you can go back and watch it, Ashley. Oh yeah, yes, that's true, Tony. So I texted Tony today in the middle of the day. Where the hell's the heat map on this thing? It's not what I said, but that's what I was thinking. So she told me where to find it. And I love the heat map. That is really cool. And I can't wait to have a year under my belt so I can see the total heat map. But I love that we can break it down by the hour. I love that it tells me, just like Scrivener, Scrivener will tell you, you've got, your beginning date, your deadline date, end date, and your targeted word count, right? And it will tell you how many words a day you need to write, which is amazing. Pacemaker just takes it to a whole new level. And it's really cool. I'm so easily amused. Oh, Lord help me. I'm easily amused. So let's say you have to write 2,000 words that day, and you go in and I do my sprints, my progress, 30 minutes, type in my numbers. And when you reach your goal for the day, confetti explodes all over the screen. I want to see the confetti explode. And so you keep writing, and you keep adding your new words, and you've gone over your, what your targeted daily word count was, what you needed to meet in order to, meet your deadline, and you get more confetti. And it's just so freaking cool. I love it. If you didn't get to see last week's live about Pacemaker, go back, watch it. It's awesome. Tony was fabulous. I learned a lot from her on that night. And yeah, I open up Discord, then I open up Pacemaker, then I open up my manuscript. I've got my coffee, my Folgers, and away we go. Now I will tell you, it used to be that I would struggle. It would take me hours and hours and hours to hit 1,000 words in a day. And I mean hours. And on those rare days when I hit the 1,000 word count, I knew I could do better. So seeing it visually, knowing you have to, if you want to make this deadline, you've got to write X number of words. And it's the word count for me right now, with the targeted dates that I've set for myself, because I know realistically I'm not going to be writing the day before, the day of, or the day after Thanksgiving, right? So I take those 3 days out. I know that I have appointments coming up, chiropractor, regular doctor, things like that, stuff with my dad, et cetera, et cetera. So I can look at, okay, I started at 8. I have to stop at 10 or 11 to go do something. I've written this many words and it took me, this many minutes or whatever to write it. All I need to do when I come back is write for another 30 minutes and I've hit my targeted word goal. Well, what I've started doing is I'm not allowing myself to leave the house for any reason. No, I can't, my friend will call, hey, you want to go do lunch? Nope. Want to go on a Walmart run or a Costco run? I'm saying no to those things until after I've hit that targeted word count goal every day. So Pacemaker tells me I need to write X number of words. My goal is always more than that. I want to write 3,000 words a day. So I have a little thing above my desk that says 3K a day keeps the bill collector away. And it's just a reminder that if I can write 3,000 words a day, at least 5 days a week, then in so many weeks, I have a full-length novel that I can publish, and I don't have to worry about the bill collector. There's not really bill collectors at my door, but it's just a visual for me. So I'm writing way more than 3,000. I'm usually writing, I think my average right now, well, we can't take my average on Pacemaker because there was that one day when I wrote almost 11,000 words, but my goal is to, like, if Pacemaker says I only need 1,400 words, I want to double it or triple it. Does that make sense? I want to do more than what it says I need to do. And that excites me. It's like what Tony said. It's like beating the GPS. You know how you put your navigation, your address in on your navigation on your car, take me to whatever. And it says you'll be there in 41 minutes. Oh, no, bitch, I won't. I'll be there in 39. That's the mindset. Oh, you say I only need 1,400 words today? Watch me, girlfriend. I'm going to write 5,000. And I don't know why it is that way, but it is. Just the way my mind works, which can be really scary sometimes. So love, love, love Pacemaker. I love beating Pacemaker. I love getting the confetti every single time I update my word count. I know, goofy. But that is probably my editor, Scrivener, Sprinting Partners, and Pacemaker are my top 4 things that I have to have in order to write. Those are my top 4 favorite tools in my toolbox. right? I have to have those 4 things. And those are the 4 things that I recommend. Well, the 3 things would be your editor, a sprinting partner, and a way to keep track of your word count, that type of thing. But those are my 4 favorite. So I went into Discord and said, hey, ladies, prepping for tonight's live show, what are your favorite writing tools? Like Scrivener, Pacemaker, whatever. Oh, my stars. Okay. So I was thinking a thesaurus, right? Just the plain old, I've got a thesaurus in Scrivener, right? It's got the dictionary. You click, you write your word, and then you open up your dictionary, and it takes you right to that, wherever your cursor is at. And then you just hit thesaurus, and it comes up with a whole bunch of different words for you, right? It's worked for me so far. Oh no, there are more than just one thesaurus. Is it thesauri? What is the plural of thesaurus? Is it thesauruses or thesauri? I was not aware of the number of thesauruses or thesaurusi that are out there. Didn't have a freaking clue, and I have been doing this since 2011. Okay, I really need to get out of the house more. I really need to start talking to people more. So, the occupation thesaurus. Didn't have a freaking clue. I know occupation thesaurus. What the hell is that? Oh. Pick an occupation. It will tell you how long it takes to get your education in that. Requirements, just all sorts of things. The sources, and I already added my suggestion to the discussion. Yes, you did, Don. So, the occupation thesaurus, didn't know such a thing existed. I don't write contemporary. I do have some contemporary novels in my head that I would really like to write, but right now I'm focused on my, Scottish historical. So I really don't need the occupational thesaurus. But if you're writing anything remotely contemporary, like within the last, 100 years, get the occupation thesaurus. Oh, my stars. Wicked cool. Did y'all know that there's such a thing as a trope thesaurus? I didn't. Didn't have a freaking clue. A trope thesaurus. A trope thesaurus. Well, there's only so many tropes, right? I don't know what all the tropes are. Lovers to enemies, older woman, younger guy, whatever. Get all 10 of them in the trope ones too. Exactly. But there are all sorts of different kinds of tropes. There is a conflict thesaurus. Again, didn't know it existed. That's the one I bought today. One of the ones I bought today. There is a negative trait thesaurus and a positive trait thesaurus. Didn't know. A rural setting thesaurus. Like if you want to write a book and one of your characters is a farmer. An urban setting thesaurus. An emotional thesaurus. That's the one I bought today. Because I want to improve bitter, angry, furious. I need some better words. So I can't wait for that one to get here. My thesauruses will be here Saturday. So I'm really excited about that. Carolyn says, heck yeah. Got the trope thesaurus with my collection of Angela Ackerman and Becca Puglisi's thesauruses. Conflict, deep wound. Didn't know about that one until today. The emotion, occupation, urban setting. Love me the thesauruses. I love the thesauruses. And I think it was Michaela that said, get out of the Scrivener's thesaurus and come to the dark side. Join us. So I cannot wait for my new books to get here. Just go to Amazon and Google, you can Google thesaurus, but you really want to, I think, again, to improve your writing, You want to really drill down to the meat of everything. So the idea of having an emotional thesaurus, a conflict, a trope, an occupation, all of that just thrills me to no end. Yeah, welcome to the fun side. I'm here. My wish list is getting out of hand now. Yeah. Wordhippo.com. That was Michaela's favorite. The Social Security popular name site. I had used that in the past. For something, I can't remember what. But again, I write historicals. So I have a website and, 14th century Scottish historical names for women, names for men, blah, blah, blah. It's the heraldry or something like that. But anyway, so I'm limited with the kinds of names that I can use, because of my genre. Tony says these are more than a thesaurus. They give traits and how characters should react, etc. They're really great. And I think that's phenomenal. That's going to be helpful. Seriously. Even for, someone like me who's been writing for a very long time, published, I don't know, 30, 40 novels. I can't even remember now. I want to learn. And having tools like these different kinds of thesauruses, I think is a very good thing. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're freaking James Patterson. You can always improve your skill set. You can always improve your writing. And that should always, always, always be your goal with every single book, is that this book that you are working on needs to be better than the last book you just published. That's my personal opinion. Now, I don't care if you're James Patterson. I don't care if you're John Grisham, whoever. But I will never say that our sainted Nora Roberts needs to improve anything, because she's our sainted Nora Roberts. I'm sorry. I just really want to be the Nora Roberts of historical romance. I do. And Tony says, it just helps to give ideas so much. And like, I know when I'm very nervous, my stomach is upset, but in the middle of writing, brain, no work sometimes. Yeah, exactly. So when you're in the middle of writing, like today, there were a couple times I had to text my friend Chastity. Where did my phone go? Let me read this text to you. I was having a brain fart. I'm telling you what. Let's see. Hey, beautiful. Quick question. Looking for a word. I do this with Chastity all the time. The thing that is used to carry someone, like Cleopatra in the movie, it has a roof, curtains, long bars that men used to carry them with. What the hell is that thing called? LOL. Within moments, she replied with palanquin. Palanquin. That was not the word that I was looking for. However, that is 1,000 times better than the word I thought I was looking for. Palanquin. I'm probably not even pronouncing it right, but that's okay. So, yeah, I will text her, what is this word for? Like a couple weeks ago when I was still writing Tender is the Heart. Could not think. Okay. Again, historical romance. You have your gathering room, which is like a really big, basically big dining room. Just a big, big room where everybody gathers to eat. The gathering room. And usually in medieval Scottish, in medieval castles, there's a small room off of the gathering room where they will keep the ale. There will be clouds and showers. 6:20 p.m. I have done everything I can to get rid of that. Anyway, there's a small room where they keep the ale, they keep extra mugs. They might store some food in there, whatever. Could not think of the freaking word. So I texted Chastity and she said, well, isn't it called a pantry? And I'm like, no, there's a different word. The word I wanted that took me almost an hour to find is the buttery. I know, Tony, there is, but I can't get that stupid thing off of there. And then usually by the time I remember, by the time she does that, I'm busy. Forget. Anyway, so the word I was looking for was the buttery. It is so nice to have friends who can help me when I'm having these brain farts. Therefore, a thesaurus is really, 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 really important. I think it's an important tool to have in your toolbox to help you become a better author. Now we're going to go to routines. How do you find routines? Expected. Do I go to the device? Oh, there it is. Device. Susan's Office Echo. Device is unresponsive. It's offline. The hell it is. It just talked to me. We'll work on it later. Anyway, yes, Nora Roberts is a true master of words. Yes, she flippin' is. And I bow at her feet. I do. I love Nora Roberts. Right, baby. Anyway, so a thesaurus can do more than just help you find a word. It can also help you find an emotion, character traits, reactions, etc. So I highly recommend investing in some of these thesauruses, depending on the genre that you write. So if you're doing a lot of urban writing, get the urban thesaurus. If you're doing, a lot of, I don't know, Christmas in Connecticut type writing, whatever, you might want to consider the rural thesaurus. But I can't wait to get the conflict one, the negative and positive, and the emotional. I can't wait for Saturday. I'm so excited. So those are a really good dictionary. Duh. A really good dictionary is also important. Okay. If you don't have one, a printed dictionary like I do, that's like, Webster's, that's like, this thick and weighs 40 pounds. You can get online dictionaries. I love the dictionary that's built into Scrivener. That's my go-to. What was I going to say? Shoot. I had a thunk that I thoughted. Okay. So I asked some other author friends, and this is one that an editor actually recommended. And it is a blog post from many years ago that talks about numbers and how to write them correctly. If it's under 100, you spell the word out. If it's over 100, then you can use the numerals. I always spell it out no matter what the number is because of the genre I write in. And they will say things like the year of our Lord 1432, right? So I spell those out. But more specifically for contemporary authors, anything over 100, you use the numerals. Anything under 100, you spell it out. Oh, the synonym for baggage is slut. Oh, my stars. Tony, you kill me. So anyway, this editor's blog from 2013 still has some really good useful advice. And she also mentioned something about participles. And I said, I can't tell my author friends to pay attention to participles because I would feel like a hypocrite because I've been writing and publishing since 2011 and I still don't know what a dangling participle is. And I giggle every time I hear it because in my mind it sounds kind of dirty. A dangling participle. So anyway, pay attention to your tenses, your participles, your all of that stuff. And if you're not sure, just get a really good editor who does know what all those things are and can fix it for you. I found that when my oldest was looking up baggage as a comment, as a spelling word, y'all, so that was a fun learning moment for us all. Oh, I bet that was. Probably would have laughed my butt off too. So, a good dictionary, more than one thesaurus. Who knew? Who knew? Well, you all did because you all are the ones telling me about them. I mean, I have books. Not books. I lent them out to someone, and they have never returned them. And they were some expensive books on craft, the craft of writing, like how to write your book from the middle, things of that nature. So anyway, I do recommend books like that. Anything that will help you improve your writing skills is a good thing. Don says, I'm teaching my authors about dangling participles now. I love it. Okay, more tools. You all know how I feel about transparent sticky notes. We've talked about these before. They come in various sizes and shapes, right? And they are transparent. I use Sharpies to write on them because where the heck did all my Sharpies? Oh, up here. Sorry. It was a panic for a second. I have the Sharpies that have a fine point at one end and a thicker point at the other. Regular Sharpies. That's what I use to write on my transparent sticky notes. And I just realized that my window is covered from the sticky notes from the book I just finished and have sent to my editor. It's covered. Because my desk is in front of my big, beautiful windows. I have roller shades, and I have sticky notes because during certain parts of the day, the sun comes in and it's blinding. So I pull my roller shades down, and I have sticky notes on those. That was a red. I actually just realized I have a transparent sticky note on my pull down shade for a recipe for homemade rice-a-roni. And I, ladies and gentlemen, am your fearless leader. Are you all sure you went on this train? So, different sized sticky notes. They come in all sorts of fun colors. I have nature ones. These are cool because you can use these are darker, but you can use like metallic Sharpies for those. Blues, yellows, greens, clear, taupes, all sorts of colors. I flip and love my sticky notes. I do plot in Scrivener. Okay, I do plot in Scrivener, but as I'm writing along, a thought will come to my mind. Oh, you need to, Google this, or just a thought will hit me. Like on this one, second in command doesn't trust Margaret. I know exactly what that means, but I needed to put that up there so that I could remind myself while I'm writing this novel that their relationship isn't all that hot, because sometimes I'll be writing, and suddenly everybody loves everybody. It's like, wait a minute, conflict, go back, change that, fix it. Also, because for some stupid reason, I thought it would be really good for me to give my hero 12 brothers and sisters, half of which are married with children of their own, ranging in ages from 10 and under. And then we had pregnant women in the story, and they're having babies, and so I had to do a lot of the bigger sticky notes to help me keep, and a notebook. I ended up having to put it all on a piece of notebook paper. Who's married to who has which children belong to who, how old are those children? Like Colin is 6, Ian's 5, Fergus is 3, Magnus is 1, and they belong to George and Elaine. Elizabeth and Emery have Alice and Meredith. Alice is 6, Meredith is 3. Elizabeth was pregnant, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, and then I had to write down their names. Anyway, it's like that. So I cannot begin to express to you how much I love, love, love transparent sticky notes. And they come in all sorts of different sizes and shapes. You can even get circular ones. Hang on a second. I think this is the link. We'll find out. I'm going to post a link in here. And it might, and it might not be a link to my favorite sticky notes. Or it could be a link to a book. It could be a link to anything. Who knows? We'll find out momentarily. But, yeah. Transparent sticky notes. I just love these. Now, I belong to a couple of different groups on Facebook and just found out the other day, and it was really hard for me not to purchase this. It's like, nope. You have your transparent sticky notes. You have your windows. You have your routine down now. Do not add anything else to it. Do not buy another dry erase board. This author, oh, God, I almost bought all of it. Has a big magnetic chalkboard, right? Did you know that you could buy reusable sticky notes that are magnetic for magnetic boards? And Alan Jackson is singing in my head, who's cheating who? Oh, the emotions. Oh, that's the emotion thesaurus. Okay, thank you. Anyway, she has this chalkboard that's magnetic, and then she bought all these magnetic post-it notes, little sticky notes, that were like little rectangles, and they're reusable though. You can erase them and reuse them, and you stick them onto the. Oh, I almost dropped some coin then. And usually I try to, justify my purchases by saying, oh, it's tax deductible. It's like, no, this is going to be one more distraction for you. I have a crap ton of dry erase boards that I do use, but I've stopped using because I found the transparent sticky notes. So, but I still use them for other things. Okay. Another favorite thing that I don't use at home very much, but I do use it, especially when traveling, and that is the Rocketbook. And you are so funny. She says magnetic. Be right back. Going to Amazon again. Oh, I love you people. Anyway, the Rocketbook. It's a notebook. It's the Rocketbook Infusion. Okay, or Fusion. And this thing is so cool. You have your day calendars, and then you have a section for notes. Let's see here. Some things I don't want to change or show you. Some of it's just, for projects. Okay. So anyway, these you use special ink pens for, and it's reusable, like the reusable magnetic post-it notes I was just telling you about. Sorry, I want to get this wet. I don't want to spit on it. But you can erase it with water, right? And then you can reuse it and rewrite on it. But what's cool is, after you've done your writing, your plotting, whatever, you take a picture of it with your smartphone, right? There's a little app that you download to your phone. Aurora, hi, honey. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. How you doing, sis? Anyway, once you're done writing with the, in your Rocketbook, there's an app on your phone, and you open that, and you take a picture of it, and it converts it to a PDF document for you, right? And it'll change your cursive handwriting to print. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Oh, Tony, I love you. She sent me the instructions on how to get the routine off of my Alexa app. Thank you, dear. I will do that later. But anyway, the Rocketbook is really cool. I love that you use ink pens for this. I love to write with ink pens, different colored ink pens. Like this note says, I need a floor stand dry erase board for plotting, magnetic, on wheels, can go in front of bookcase Kevin made me. Okay, that's the note I made to myself, and then I take a picture of it, and it will just save it. It sends me a little email. Just amazing. I love the Rocketbook, and I do use that more when I am traveling, flying especially, or when somebody else is doing the driving, unless it's my husband. And then I can't focus because he has this thing. Love him dearly. Love my husband. Do not get me wrong. Married involuntarily. He's an awesome man. He's just freaking phenomenal. However, we were going from Illinois to the Biltmore in South Carolina, right? And we're taking Interstate 40 through the mountains. We got off Interstate, did something, I forget, but we're on all these switchback turns, right? Switchback turns. I mean, these are hairpin switchback turns. I know he's not really speeding. I know that. But he was having fun. And he was trying to channel his inner Dale Earnhardt Sr. And we would go, wee! He was doing this. Wee! 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 And I just wanted to throat punch him. Love him to the moon and back. Would do anything for him. But that day, you're done. You're done driving. So now I do all the driving. But when we're flying, I have my Rocketbook with me. Drunken Smurf is here. Hi, honey. Tiptoes quietly in, blushing furiously, and takes a seat in the back. You never have to do that, Smurf. It's all good. Anyway, I love the Rocketbook Fusion, transparent sticky notes. What else? Does anybody have a tool that they absolutely love that really helps them with whatever process of writing that you're in? Just put it in the chat and we can talk about it. Anyway, let's see. What else? What else do I use? I know I'm going to get a stand-up desk very soon because, okay, you can't see my setup right now. But tonight, okay, I have my laptop. And we're using that for the live because my Big Mac is really old and I need a new one. And I'm not ready to drop $3,500 on a new computer. I'm just eking every last second out of that big bad boy that I can get. It does not like Chrome. It doesn't like me doing lives. So I have to use my laptop. Well, my laptop sits down on my desk. And I find myself like this all day long. And even though I have my laptop on this little stand, it scooches back. And before I know it, I'm hunched over my desk. My laptop is touching the window. And I'm like, annoying as hell. But it's also too low when I do my live. So I have it setting up on a box right now that's about yay thick to get it up off so that we have a better view, et cetera, et cetera. So with that, I had to get my external keyboard out, my wireless, so that I could type things in to chat and whatever while we're doing live. Smurf says, to be honest, my favorite writing tool is my coffee mug. I make as much or more use of it than I do my actual writing tools. That's funny. Yes, I couldn't write without coffee. I don't know. How does anybody write without coffee? I know some people write with T. I guess that counts. But I think if I sat down and tried to write without my stimulant of coffee, I would be lost. I don't know. Carolyn says, no, I don't have a tool like the fun tools you've shared, but I sure made a list of what I want for my birthday. There you go. Carolyn also says, okay, one of my favorite resources is Fiction Blurbs and the Best Page Forward Way by Phoebe Ravencroft and Brian Cohen. Cool beans. You know, Tony, I have multiple external keyboards, extra keyboards, wireless, some are wired. I have the old-fashioned one that's all pink and has the big round keys, and it's the clickety-clackety, clickety-clackety. I can't write my historical romance on the clickety-clackety. It's too loud, and it annoys the hell out of me. I have this for tonight only. Lovely, lovely little keyboard. It's wireless, easy to hook up. It takes batteries. But the keys aren't working for me like my laptop keys, right? I'm so used to writing books on my laptop that when I go to write on even my Big Mac with the wireless keyboard, it's not they're spaced differently, right? Spaced differently drives me crazy. It takes me a long time to get into the swing of things when I'm using a different keyboard. Okay. Now, I do buy these little silicone keyboard protectors, right? I've started writing them in bulk. I have my original MacBook laptop that my husband got me years ago when I first started writing. I literally used that laptop so much that I wore holes in the keys on the laptop to where you could see wires. So I had to take it and into a place. It's no longer there, but they were able to replace the keyboard for me. And I had to go a week without my laptop, and it was just, I was losing my mind. So now I have these little silicone keyboard covers, protectors, whatever you want to call them. And they're really good. I got to give them kudos for that. But because I've been typing so much, I am stretching them out. I don't, especially on my space bar, because I use it so much. Yeah, wear out your keys. Exactly, Aurora. Yes, I have an aluminum laptop stand too that my laptop sits on. And so it's all ergonomic and everything, and I can still write on it. But I need a stand-up desk because I constantly am going forward. I'm not paying attention to my posture, whatever. So I know if I had a stand-up desk that I could put on top of my writing desk or whatever, that would solve some of my issues. Is the stand easier on your hands and wrists? Yes, I think so. Very much so. But in addition to that stand here, oops. Okay, we'll do this for a second. Sorry. This is the little stand, and you can fold it up like this. It's just a little aluminum stand, and you could tuck it in your laptop bag. I use my Miss 9 bag all the time. Love my Miss 9 bag. But it kind of helps with the angle of it and everything. But in addition to that, I also have these little wrist protectors so that my wrists aren't on the edge of my desk all the time. So that is a fun tool. I just have to have it. Tony says it's on a stand for me, but I don't use it on it. It's basically a monitor. Your iPad? Okay. All right. So Tony says she uses her iPad as a second monitor for my notes no matter where I'm writing. Okay, cool. Have you tried an exercise ball instead of a chair? Yes. And in full disclosure, I am as graceful as a three-legged billy goat. And I fell off of it once. And I'm afraid to try again. Because I was just writing and going along, and then all of a sudden it was like, whoa! Backwards. So no, I don't want to use that again. But I love that I write in 30-minute sprints now, because after that 30 minutes is up, I can get up, I can walk around, I can go to the powder room, I can grab another cup of Cafe Bustelo, get a snack, whatever. But I make sure that that I get up for a few minutes and walk around. Because now they're saying that sitting is the new smoking. Whatever. But I do know that I have a really nice chair, and then I have one of those Cushion Lab cushions that are like, you've seen them. I know you have. It's a Cushion Lab cushion for your buttocks, and it just helps keep you tilted right and everything. And I really, really love it. So yeah, I guess I have a lot of tools. I like my seat cushion. Yeah, I love that you can adjust to the height of the writing desk. But yeah, I've got to come up with a better system, because I'm hunched over too much. And my chiropractor, and we'll go see him, and he says, "You've been writing this week, haven't you?" And it's like, "Yes." How can you tell? He said, "I'm going to get that hunch out of you." I am. I'm going to get that hump out of your back. You need a stand-up desk. You need a stand-up desk. So my husband's a carpenter. I don't see why he couldn't just build me one, but that would be a whole deal. I need to just invest in a good stand-up desk. Sometimes I will just take my laptop and go out to the island, but the island, it's counter height, but it's still, because I have short legs and a really tall, long trunk. It's still not quite high enough. So anyway, what else? What else, folks? Oh my gosh, it's 10 till 7. I'm so sorry I've kept you so long. But yeah, those are all some of my very favorite tools. I really do recommend these little wrist rests. Doesn't matter if you're using an extra keyboard, wireless, wired, whatever, external, whatever it's called, unattached. Doesn't matter if you're using one of those or if you're actually writing on your laptop. These really help save your wrists. Tony says lap desk and the recliner for me. I do. Okay. Again, I love my husband. I do love him dearly, 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 dearly. We have beautiful recliners, 2 beautiful recliners in the living room. One is his, one is mine. I also have a beautiful sofa that also reclines, and I have a lap desk, and I can, at any given time, go in there and write. Get my little lap desk out, laptop, etc., etc. I have to put on headphones because he watches all the financial shows all day long. All day long. I don't hear about investments, and not my thing. God bless him. Not my thing. So I'm thinking, I have thought hard about this, and I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm thinking about, I have this beautiful black leather sofa. Long story on that, how I got that thing. It's 10 years old. Lovely sofa. Don't get me wrong. But I'm seriously considering giving it away or selling it or whatever, and just getting a recliner for in here, so that when the legs, when your legs start to feel a little swollen or whatever because you've sat too long, but you're really in the zone and you want to keep writing. I have resorted to moving to the sofa and using the coffee table as a footstool, but then I have to have pillows on it and blah, blah, blah. I'm seriously considering trading it in for a really nice recliner like what I have in the living room. Oh, yeah, my husband doesn't do video games. He watches TV. Yeah, gotta have the wrist rest. And the wrist rest mouse. Yes, I have one of those too. Means old filthy. Do you know that you can wash these with peroxide? I just, when mine start to get a little nasty, I just take it out to the kitchen sink and pour some peroxide on it. And then within minutes, you've got a brand new one. The only drawback is you have to let it dry. I got one of those gaming chairs. And that was, okay, again, as graceful as a 3-legged billy goat. It was a really expensive gaming chair. Really expensive. It had the footrest and everything. But I am not a tiny person. I'm not Shrek, but I'm not a little girl. I'm 5'9". Big boned. Leave it at that. I had one for about 3 weeks. And in that 3 weeks time, it was like I bent over to pick something up off the floor. Yeah, I could do that. This chair, I could bend over and pick something up off the floor. Could not do that in that stupid gaming chair. There were 2 times in 3 weeks where Kevin came running in because he heard this huge crash. And it was me tipping over in this stupid gaming chair. It is now down in the basement. And it can stay there. Oh, yeah. No, Lori, I feel your pain. Yes, I feel your pain. I'm not going to go there. I don't watch. We're not going to talk about politics here. Only thing I'm going to say is they're all a bunch of lying rat bastards. I don't care what letters behind their name, what party they belong to. I don't trust none of them. That is the end of my political tirade. And I'm really tempted to do a write-in vote for Mortimer Snerd. But I digress. So anyway, can't use the gaming chairs. And I couldn't. The other thing with that gaming chair, it was just the footrest. It was just so uncomfortable. God, it was uncomfortable. It just was. I wasted God, what did we spend on that thing? Almost $400 for that stupid chair. And, when you're sitting in it at Staples or whatever, it feels comfortable while you're there, but you're only sitting in it for, a few minutes. And then you get home and you realize after, 30 minutes, your back's killing you. Wouldn't it be cool if there were a frame stand that would hold your computer lappy while fully reclined so you could keep working on it? Yes, it would. So you could just lay back like this and write. Ooh. Wonder if you could mount a TV to your ceiling and do it that way. Or up high on the wall and you're in bed. Tony says, I have a gaming chair my husband spent too much on, but it's nice. My secret lab and a footrest that's cushioned that's not connected to my chair. Yeah, I couldn't use it. It was just the most, I don't know if it's because of my scoliosis, my fat rear end, don't know, but I could not work in that for very long. It was just, yeah, I won't own another one. Yeah, we'll never buy another gaming chair. So I like the one I have. It's hell, I don't know. Got it at Staples. I think it's a Sealy. Anyway, but yeah, I think I would like to get a recliner for in here. And I know I would have to. I'm running out of room. Just running out of room in my office. I don't know if you could see earlier. I had to bring my hibiscus in. This puppy is huge. It's still blooming. Woke up to 2 more blooms this morning. I'm not getting rid of my hibiscus. I'm not getting rid of my bookcases or my desks. So the only thing that could really go in here would be the sofa, which I do on occasion like to take a nap on. Lovely sofa, lovely black leather sofa. Uh, but I really need to be able to write in the recliner. I could do that when he's not here, and which is rarely because he's retired now. But and there are some days when he has the TV off and I can go in there, but I still put on. Here's the thing. Again, I love my husband. I do. He's an amazing, wonderful, wonderful man. But we have to have the doors. I have to have the doors shut so he knows I'm in the zone. I'm now working. Please don't bother me. There for a while, he would come in. He would just pop in, say, "Hey, Susie, did you see this?" This was the early stages of retirement. Oh God, was this during COVID? I'd be trying to write, and all of a sudden, I could hear him laugh, and I mean, he was laughing. Oh my God, gut busting laughter, and I quickly learned that meant he was coming to see me. "Susie, did you see this meme? Did you see this meme? Look at this meme." It's like, I had the doors closed. I'm trying to write. I had the doors closed. Does that not mean well, this was funny, honey. It only take a second. God love him. But he had to, yeah, COVID was rough on everybody, wasn't it? Oh, shiver. Anyway, it is 7:00. I've not had supper. I haven't eaten since lunch. I had lunch with my bestie Shelly today. She's amazing. Me today, I have a meeting at 11. My husband at 11 yells, "Do you want me to make you a sandwich?" Yep. So I got doors and I locked them. Now he's gotten a lot better. And because COVID's over and he can get the hell out of the house, everything is a lot better. Everything is just so much better. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. We've gone over. But I hope you all learned something new. Thank you for sharing your favorite tools with me. I'm issuing a challenge. Sorry, the microphone, I keep hitting it. I'm going to issue all a challenge. I want you to come back next week with your word count. Start whenever you want. I don't care, but come back next Wednesday night and have your word count for the week ready. I just want to know if any of my advice helps. It helps with your word count or whatever. I am just really interested to know if you guys keep track of your word counts, how many hours a day you write, blah, blah, blah. Just come back next week and we'll talk about other stuff, but I'm just really curious to see how many words y'all get written in the next week. Anyway, I'm going to sign off and I'm going to go jump into an ice cold shower because I'm having another flash and I don't know why. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love you all. You all are just amazing and fabulous. And for those of you who come in on the replay crew, I love you too. Please leave a comment. I do try to check them and I try to respond to them. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely rest of your week. And I will see you next Wednesday, same time, same Batman channel. Love you all. Bye-bye. Mwah!